The gaming generation would know the name Subaru, and particularly the Impreza. It's a badge that isn't that familiar to all the South Africans. But this isn't quite the version that all the gamers have grown up and love. Because unfortunately it isn't a WRX, it isn't an STI, it's the standard Impreza. And it has the same body shape. It's got the Boxer engine, that H4 Boxer 4-cylinder engine, 2 liters, putting out 114 kilowatts, 196 Newton meters of torque. So it's got all of those features, and it's a very neat looking medium-sized saloon, which is a market in South Africa that isn't exactly the most popular these days anymore either. You've got lovely 17-inch wheels, good looking mags, items like that. You come around to your boot over here, which in standard form is 344 liters and can be expanded to 900 odd liters if you drop the rear seats. So overall, you're going to say to me, it looks like a bit of a boring C to D segment saloon, aren't you? But let me tell you, this car's got a lot of features that make it very different and almost unique on the South African market. One of the features, if you have a look, is what it says over there: symmetrical all-wheel drive. All Subarus have all-wheel drive, and it's their system. Again, not for the crazy off-road rally driving that you can get from the top-end rally models that have existed along the way, but the safety factor, the inbuilt safety and road holding of an all-wheel drive car is something that to me is a really great extra that you can get on your family saloon. Climbing aboard the Impreza, you'll see it's pretty much a luxury saloon in many senses. And when I fire up the engine, take a look at just some of the effects you get on the excellent touchscreen system that you have here, the infotainment system, which has every facility you want. You have a look here, it's got full navigation, it's got radio apps, settings, media, phone that works very well. Something else the car's got that I find very, very interesting is it's not a heads-up display, but it's a secondary display over there that is almost, in my book, as good as a heads-up, and it certainly gives you lots of information. And just to tell you quickly, I've done 650 kilometers on this test and averaged 8.2 liters per 100 kilometers in this car, and that's with enjoying the car, enjoying the performance to a very large extent. You come down over here beyond, as I said, the center screen, you come to the gear shift over here. Now, Subaru use a version of CVT that they call Lineartronic. It's Subaru's version, and I cannot find a single fault with the system. It certainly handles well. Whether you want to go a little bit faster, whether you're tootling around town, doesn't matter. It certainly seems to do the job exceptionally well. Electronic parking brake, and you've got a hill hold assist feature over here as well. You have got, going into your infotainment system, you've got systems upon systems, an excellent voice response from the touch of a button over here in various of your systems, all of it over here. And then you've got a feature that, for the first time in my career, I've really, really trusted levels of autonomous driving, because this car, in this price bracket, in this range, and I'll mention the price later to you, has what Subaru term Eyesight. It's only on the top version of the Impreza, but it's an active, camera-based, not radar-based, safety system that Subaru have developed, their safety suite, I want to call it, that gives you active cruise control, active braking, even active braking going backwards in reverse, believe it or not. And talking about reverse, of course, when you look on the screen, look at the quality of the reverse camera you've got over here as well. Excellent quality reverse camera. So again, you've got features upon features upon features of this car. It really, in my book, comes up in the top luxury segment and features of everything that you could want. Full leather trim, lots of space in the rear. I'm not going to climb into the rear in this car, but you can see it's a good family-sized car, very much so, and even comes standard with sunroof as well, standard on this model, with of course the standard cover that you can just slide open and closed along the way. So it really comes with, in my book, pretty much everything. I'm trying to think of what I can criticize on this car, quite honestly. One of the little things that maybe is it doesn't have door lock on pull away, although I'm told very reliably that that is probably going to change very soon. But at the moment, you've got to press a little button on the door to lock your doors. So you want me to find something that I'm going to say I'm going to pick on? Well, that's probably one of the few features I can think of to pick on this car. Overall, as I said, full luxury spec. You've got the virtually drilled effect pedals down over there. You see those, the very sporty looking drilled effect pedals, just to give you the feeling of sportiness. You've got the push button stop start. Of course, you can switch off some of the electronic nannies if you really want to, but do you want to? I don't know about that. 7 airbags are standard as well. And even on this model, well, on all the Imprezas, you get a 3-year 75,000 kilometer maintenance plan thrown in as well. Now I'm going to tell you the price for all of this. 425,000 Rand, brand new. Certainly with your all-wheel drive, with your electronics you have, with that Eyesight system, which is really and truly, I'm going to say, blowing my mind. All of those features. I've been really thinking hard as to name competitors for you in this segment of cars, and quite honestly, about the only one I can come up with right now, which has a little bit more power. It doesn't have all-wheel drive, for example, doesn't have quite as many driver aid autonomous features, but would be the Hyundai Elantra Sport, which comes in at 400,000 Rand. It's about the only one, but you can see pros and cons, weigh it up as you want. Very interesting car. Had a slightly extended test on this one and have certainly loved it. I can tell you that much. Enjoyed the test. And all I can say is Subaru are on a growth program, both worldwide and in South Africa. And if you're looking for your medium-ish sized sedan, what an interesting choice. Before I sign off for you, I'm going to try and show you a little example of how that active cruise control works. So we're going to just drive along the road a little bit and show you exactly how that does work. At the press of a button on the cruise control system, you can see it shows the system. I now bring it in, I tell it to start, and it says 65 kilometers an hour. Now watch this, there's a car in front of us. The car is actually going to brake itself, and it's actually going to come to a complete halt without me touching a pedal. Here we are, and look at this, and it brings us to a complete and utter halt without me touching pedals, without me touching anything. It's taken me a while to get used to this. Believe me, it's a strange feeling, but here you are. You can see we stopped at a robot, dead stop, without me touching the brake pedals, without me touching anything, and the car will pull off as well automatically in a moment, just to really make this very interesting. Here we are, the robot's turned green. I press a button and pull away without touching pedals. My hands are up. Obviously, I need to steer. My feet are away from the pedals, and that is how this active cruise control with Eyesight system works on the Subaru Impreza with Eyesight. Unbelievable system. The car is set to 65 kilometers an hour. I've set a following distance, which you can even set a little bit shorter if you've got the courage to do it, but it certainly does work. You can also see in the mirror over here on the side, that's your blind spot warning, that very big light over there. Another feature as far as I'm concerned. Overall, check this one out. You really need to. For Matters, I'm Alan R, and I'll see you next time.